You know, you don't want to fight. He's got a big fight coming with Mike Tyson, but he's...
Mike Tyson, a great car, he's a good man. Mike's been through a lot, but he could fight. Let me tell you, that guy could fight, but I can. You imagine Mike, he says put Mike in the ring with go, so Trump being Trump couldn't just leave well enough alone. When Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's fight countdown started, he decided to add a bit of his signature class to the conversation by of course suggesting, half jokingly, half who knows that he'd like to see Tyson square off against Kamala Harris in a boxing match. Yes, because nothing screams a great idea like putting a former heavyweight champion against the Vice President of the United States. This little comment went over about as well as a lead balloon at a helium convention. Like, this guy, you don't want to fight. He's got a big fight coming with Mike Tyson, but he's glad he didn't fight Mike when Mike was 19. He told me that today, but he's a fantastic guy, very talented guy a lot, and just now Trump has thrown his weight behind Jake Paul, stating Tyson's age might at last spell his doom, and this isn't just a polite nod. Trump's betting that Paul's youth will outshine every punch Tyson's ever thrown in the ring. These comments left Tyson in the weirdest position ever. Here's a guy who's been through thick and thin with Trump, and now he's tied to this circus. Tyson's no more natural. Tyson's trying to enter the ring with Jake Paul, not drag his name through a political nightmare, and Trump is just seeing it all from his golden tower, most likely with a smile on his face, waiting for the world to catch up to his genius segment you have all been waiting for. But on November 15th at AT&T Stadium, Mike Tyson will ring in to fight Jake Paul. Tyson, the former heavyweight champion, at 58 years of age, clearly emerging from retirement for this clash against the 27-year-old Paul, a YouTuber turned fighter. Tyson: Paul has publicly backed Trump, so naturally, I will also support him because his unapologetic antics and capacity to get under people's skin, precisely the sort of fighter Trump wants in his corner. Tyson: good. Tyson is a legacy, and in the world of Trump, legacy only takes you so far, especially when there's an influencer who's way more sensitive to the meme-driven social media frenzy that keeps Trump's followers delighted and like you're insulted by the implication that you're too old for this. Is that a fair statement? Hey listen, you can't compare me with other people my age, cause other people at my age haven't been training as long as being consistent, but now it's a whole other ballgame. The political endorsement is on the table, and Jake Paul of all people is at the top of the list. Tyson's legacy, well, it's taking a back seat to Trump's own brand of politics, which is a fascinating dynamic to watch develop, because let's be real, Tyson's not exactly the political pawn he was back in the day. Yes, he's a legend, but Trump's political alliances are as unpredictable as the stock market, and right now it seems like Paul's got the inside track. Trump and Tyson, honestly, could there be a more improbable duo? You'd expect to see this duo in a late-night TV joke rather than standing shoulder to shoulder in the history books. Became president, he was kind to everyone while he was giving them free tickets and free hotel rooms. He just became a president, and I guess his politics shone you whatever it is, but I always remember him from being a good guy, paying me a lot of money. But back in the 1980s, Trump the ambitious real estate tycoon and Tyson the heavyweight champ who could practically sneeze and send opponents flying across the ring were on the same page. The opening bell, let's see what happens. Tyson attacks, immediately cuts off the ring, throws went just underway, speaks THR at Tyson, showing no fear, no respect at all here in round one. It all started with Trump hosting the Tyson's infamous 1988 knockout against Michael Spinks, a 91-second fight about as long as it takes most of us to decide on a Netflix show, and boom, Trump was suddenly the host of the boxing event of the century. His casino was raking in cash, and Tyson was leaving with his reputation as the most feared fighter intact. A win-win for everyone. That fight was supposed to be a career-defining moment, and instead he ended up as a 1-minute highlight reel on Trump's casino marquee. For me, anyone, I don't care who they, Republic, Independent, I'm a bad to them. I'm not going to let them look, then I don't look good around these Republican guys or Democratic guys or people who are just politically inclined. But he was so fast forward a few years and is hitting rock bottom. He's convicted of a serious crime, he's heading to prison, and what does Trump do? He doesn't cut ties. He actually advocated for Tyson's right to train in prison and suggested future fight earnings should go to charity, because apparently Trump figured, who needs PR advisors when you can just keep everyone on their toes wondering what you'll do next? Endorses Donald Trump. And Tyson, for his part, didn't forget this. In 2015, when Trump made his big presidential debut and a wave of backlash came his way, Tyson was there singing his praises and calling him a good guy despite all the noise, and he followed the same pattern now, but silent. Then you've got to wonder, was this loyalty based on some unbreakable bond or just plain strategy? Maybe they both saw each other as useful allies. Trump could be the endorsement machine for Tyson's comebacks, and Tyson, well, he could be a reminder to Trump's fans that he knows how to keep tough friends, because let's face it, loyalty in their world is about about as reliable as an umbrella in a hurricane, but here they are holding on to this odd alliance. Like it's some kind of historic pact. Trump's support of Jake Paul is like dropping a lighted flame into a pool of gasoline. Suddenly the boxing world is split into two camps, Team Trump and Paul vs Team Tyson, the old school icon waiting for. But on November 15th at AT&T Stadium, Mike Tyson will enter the ring to confront Jake Paul. Tyson, the former heavyweight champ at 58 years of age, obviously coming out of retirement for this bout against the 27-year-old Paul, a YouTuber turned fighter. It's no longer just a fight about who's better in the ring, it's a full-on show, a soap opera, where every jab thrown has political implications. Every knockdown feels like a referendum on the state of the world. You've got Trump's crowd, the social media loving meme obsessed Gen Z heavy brigade, and then you've got Tyson's hardcore fans who think Instagram influence is something that happens to other people's kids. The contrast is staggering. Mike may say this is not a good thing. I know Iron Mike, and he's a terrific man. Mike Tyson, a great person, he's a good man. Hey, Mike is Mike's been through a lot, but he could fight. Let me tell you, that guy could fight. But can you imagine Mike? Yeah, he says send Mike in the ring. And let's talk about the infamous comment about Kamala Harris again, because honestly it's like the icing on top of this entire circus. Sunday, Trump, with his classic sense of humor, thought it would be hilarious to suggest that Tyson face off against Harris in the ring, because of course that's a totally normal thing to joke about. So what's at stake in the big fight? The legacy of one of the greatest boxers ever against a YouTuber who made his fame by pulling pranks and doing backflips into pools, and who's Trump backing the guy who's going to make sure his followers tune in by constantly throwing shade and stirring the pot. No pressure, right? You've all been waiting for. But on November 15th at AT&T Stadium, Mike Tyson will enter the ring to challenge Jake Paul. Tyson, the former heavyweight champ, now 58 years of age, apparently coming out of retirement for this match against the 27-year-old Paul, a YouTuber turned fighter. As November 15th approaches, one thing is certain: this fight isn't simply a physical contest, it's a clash of egos, political maneuvering, and if Trump's loyalty to Tyson will survive the weight of social media fans, it's going to be a spectacle whether we want it or not. And in the end, Tyson could be knocked out not only in the ring but in the court of public opinion as well. So here we are, the showdown of the century. Will Tyson prove that age and experience trump Jake Paul's fresh-faced energy, or will Trump's support for Paul turn this into the most ridiculous spectacle the sport has ever seen? One thing's for sure: whatever happens, we'll all be watching, because let's be real, this is the kind of drama that's almost too good to miss.